Are you having trouble with the phone? Are you getting stuck on this beast? That's what we're going to talk about in today's live. Welcome. My name is Borino. I'm your coach. I'm the author. I've written several systems, several programs, Expired Plus, Fizz Borino, Core Influence, all those good things for you, to help you make sure you have good leads, good clients, make a lot of money. Good to have you guys. We're going to jump right in. I have about 7 strategies I want to share with you. It's all gonna be good. Let's say hello to some people. Mari's here, Jose, Irma joining us. Andy just came. Stephanie's here. Paul is with us. And let's see who else. Brad, Mr. Brad, good to see you. Thank you for all you do, says Brad. Well, let me show you. We got this technology now that can show you the comments. Thanks for all you do, says Brad. Very nice to have you. All right, guys, I am excited because this will be a good session that I think you will enjoy because there'll be some practical tips. Okay, so let's get started. This is the email that got it all started. Let me make sure we're on. Everybody good? Can you guys see me? We are in this new studio. And so we're still kind of setting things up. I just hooked up a new monitor today, so it's pretty exciting. I'm excited. It's pretty cool. A lot of cool gadgets, a lot of cool stuff happening. But the main reason we're here is so I can share with you something practical, something that you will find helpful, something that you can implement right away. We're going to talk about why does it even matter to master the phone? Why would you even bother? Is it still a good tool? And then what do you do to connect with people, to turn them into prospects, leads, clients, commissions? Yeah, good agenda today. Excited? All right. So we're going to get cranking. So my man Nui, who's my student, sent me this. This is how it all started. It says, hi, Borino. I've been following your Expired Plus program. I subscribed to RedX and started making phone calls since Monday. Monday, I made 4 calls because I was so nervous, but no one picked up. Now, let me pause there. It is perfectly normal to feel nervous, to feel uncomfortable, to feel tension. It's normal. We all feel that way. So you're not different or weird or broken if at the beginning of prospecting sessions you get a little sweaty palms. I know I did. My first expired listing, I visited in person and I had the MLS printout and it was shaking violently. And I sat in my car for over 20 minutes. I couldn't get out of my car. So all these emotions are normal. You're a normal human being, we and everybody else, you guys. It's all cool. Now, let's continue the email. Then on Tuesday, made 29 calls with 1 answer, but she said she had many offers but didn't want to sell anymore. And today I already made over 40 calls and picked up and just said, I don't call, it take me off your list. So 1 picked up out of 40 who said, take me off your list. And hung up before I can say anything. The one texted me back and said the same thing. I told me to take her off the list. What do I do? This is getting frustrated. Help. Wait. Yes, it can be very frustrating. But first, let's talk about why do we bother with the phone in the first place? Should you even continue? Is this a good idea to call people on the phone in this day and age where we have video and virtual tours and we have 3D goggles where you're going to virtually walk through properties? And how do you generate leads? Is this still should be part of your arsenal, part of the tools that are at your disposal? Short answer, yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. This absolutely has still place in your arsenal. This still is a good communication and connection tool. Now, it has its limitations. It's not the answer to all of it. As you may already notice in this business, there is no one magic pill that solves all your problems. There's no single silver bullet. Not that you would expect it, I know, but I'm just saying. Agents who think, well, I'm just going to call and get a bunch of business, or I'm just going to do postcards, I'm just going to do social media, I'm just going to do whatever, are asking for trouble because there is not just one. As part of the combination of all the tools at your disposal, I'm going to give you more how you connect it all together as this one beast, one machine. You're in good shape. Does this make sense? So now, Jose says, license not active, soon to hit the pavement, running, learning so much from you. Jose, good. You're learning good stuff. You're learning practical things right from the trenches. I was out there with you guys for years, door knocking, calling, and everything. So now let's start with number 1. I started working out about 2 years ago. I was getting really heavy. I didn't feel good. My sugar was high. I was tired a lot. I was drinking way too much coffee. And so I said, okay, enough. I got to make 2 important changes. Change my diet, change what I eat. And number 2, exercise. So I hired my man George, great trainer. You've heard me talk about him before. Buffed, healthy guy, good guy, love him to death. Lots of energy, very passionate, very optimistic, and a great trainer, not to mention he walks the walk. You want somebody who is lean and mean. I don't want somebody who's 300 pounds and woofing down pizzas before workouts, right? So my man George knows his stuff. We started working out. We had 3 sessions per week. And after about 2 weeks, I looked at myself and I said, I don't see much difference. You know what I mean? I was tired, I was sore, and that was pretty much the only result I was getting. So I said, hey, George, the needle on that scale ain't moving much. My wife's still not super hot for me, you know what I mean? Old fat pants still fit. That was 221 pounds, my friends. And George and I had to have a little talk. Here's the interesting part. I teach this stuff, and yet I needed a teacher to teach me. And what George and I discussed is my expectations. What are realistic expectations? See, on surface, I said, yeah, I know, it's a process. I understand. Of course, I get it. I know how this works. I've been teaching this stuff for 20-some years. But deep inside, I was looking for a magic answer, for a silver bullet, where I do a few exercises, I get lean and mean, lose 30 pounds, look all sexy, caliente, you know what I'm saying? Rico suave. Didn't happen. The right expectations. Go in with the right expectations. That means to think that you're going to pick up the phone, make 2 or 3 phone calls, and people will say, where have you been? Come list my house. We can't wait to meet you in person. Most of the time, it doesn't really happen that way. Set the right expectations. Now, the right expectations right now, based on students I have in Canada, US, and in the world now, we have people in Australia, is 1 out of 10 should pick up the phone. That means 10% answer rate. That's about the average. Now, your results and your numbers may be slightly different, but I'd be really surprised if it was vastly different. Now, as you remember, we, my man, had 1 out of 40 picking up. And we'll talk about what the potential problem is. But start with the right expectations. Not everybody will be home. Not everybody wants to talk to you. Not everybody wants to realist. Not everybody will be nice now or ever. That's just reality. And that's just in real estate, but life. Set the right expectations. That's number 1. With that said, set positive expectations. Because the mindset plays a huge role. And friends, if there was something I fought really hard, it was this whole concept of mindset. Like, how is that my mind, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I'm expecting, what I believe, ultimately determines my success and my income. I did not want, I was very pragmatic about this whole issue. You know what I mean? I was very, no, I go in, I do my work, I get paid. And the universe has an interesting sense of humor, and it spanked me around. I got a little smacking around, became homeless, until I finally said, okay, I give in. What do the smart people say? What do the people who've been through this, who are now successful, have the lifestyle, the nice homes, the cars, the clothes, the watches, the vacations, the money in the bank, and more importantly, who serve their clients well from the position of authority, high status agent rather than needy, desperate salesperson, which is what I was. And they all agreed. Big part, if not the foundation of the success, is really a mindset. So the question I have for you, before you pick up the phone, whether it's calling expireds, following up, for sale by owners, or the buyers you picked up at your last open house, although right now open house is not great, but you understand, when you get into the mode of I'm going to lead generate, I'm going to circle prosper, I'm going to do something to drum up business actively, which is the right way to go. What are your expectations? What goes through your head? Do you expect people to be nice, to be kind? Do you expect people to be friendly, to be open to discussing real estate with you, their plans? Or do you kind of brace yourself that it's going to be harsh and people will be difficult and you're not going to get through a whole lot? Makes a huge impact. Not to mention, it feels better just to kind of expect nice people. And if somebody is an asshole, next. No big deal. Because the mindset I had to shift is from there's very little, I have to fight for scraps, there is so little business, I have to try really hard to, there's plenty. There's way more than I can possibly handle. Even with the coronavirus, even if the whole world explodes, there will be still over 4 million transactions this year. That's according to the NAR predictions. NAR, yes, I got it right. I don't want to confuse those two, especially now. You know what I mean? Over 4 million, that's a lot of business. There's plenty of business. And if you check your MLS, I guarantee you, run the numbers when we finish. How many hundreds of homes have gone on the market in the last 7 days? It would probably hundreds, if not thousands. So there's plenty of business. You've got to get this shift, understanding that there is way more than you want, can handle, or would need. One a week. And you can totally do that. With the right tools, the right mindset, the right skills, it's absolutely doable. But it starts with that understanding of there's plenty. I'm not desperate and needy and stuck just on one. So that's number 2. Going with the right expectations, going with the right mindset. Be practical about it, but also be optimistic, be positive, be passionate. Number 3 is control what you can control. You don't have direct control over who's going to answer, who won't, who is motivated, who's not, who wants to do business with you, who's not. You don't control that, so why would you worry about it? Why would you stress over it? Keep track, because we're going to troubleshoot the practical side of what Noe was talking about. And I'll give you some practical stuff in just a second, but first understand that if I can't control directly, something in my eye right now. I'm not crying, I promise you. If I can't control directly these things, I'm not going to worry about those. I'm going to control what? Do I show up on time? Do I get my work done? Am I delivering the best dialogue master I possibly can? That is important. Am I doing my part? Am I in it for a long haul? Do I understand that there may be days, sometimes even a week, where I don't get much? It's just life. It's possible. Or do you expect immediate results and cut yourself short? The moment it doesn't work, like me going to the gym for 4 days and then saying, well, fuck it, workout doesn't work. Doesn't work that way. Okay? So now, set up an easy schedule. Be easy on yourself, because it's easy to get burned out, especially if you push hard. And do you get that sense from and I appreciate that he's passionate and he's dedicated and committed, but you run out of steam very quickly, which is what happened by Thursday to him. No results 4 days in a row. Logical to get discouraged, absolutely, but set a schedule that you can manage, where you understand, I'm in this for the long haul, I'm going to stick with it, get better, get better, get better. Here's the schedule I would recommend. Call for 25 minutes uninterrupted. 25 minutes, get a headset on, and just dial. And make it a single task. That means today, for 25 minutes, I'm going to call expired listings. Then take a 5-minute break. Now that break means you literally take the headset off, you walk away, you do something else. Play with your cat, get a cup of coffee, get some fresh air. Completely reset. Allow your mind to completely reset and shake off whatever happened. We do this at The Path. We have sessions on The Path, my private coaching, where I get people, we get on a Zoom, and all they do is work for 25 minutes. And they have 3 choices: lead generate, follow up, or set up appointments. Pretty much the same thing. But they get on the phone, and for 25 minutes, we do uninterrupted work, and I watch them. There's no coaching, there's no feedback. It is just focused work. Do the same. Now, 5 minutes up, discipline yourself, another 25-minute session. And if you just do this a day, that's 50 minutes of very focused prospecting. Sooner or later, you will get results. Can you do that? See, I want you to feel like, yeah, that's doable. I can do that. 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 50 minutes. Now, we had people on the last session, I believe the best results we got was 2 appointments. I don't want to lie, I don't want to make it up, but I think it was 2. But definitely results. People were getting leads, people were getting appointments, people were getting conversations. 25 minutes, set that up. Now, if you want to really challenge yourself and go for 3, then it's 25, 5, 25, 5, 25, and you're done. And that's a good productive thing, because think about it. If you can do 1.5 hours of productive lead generation, prospecting, and follow-up every single day, 5 days a week, and if you're a rock star, maybe you work 6 days a week, so if you're building a lot of momentum, you're going to get results. It's going to be good. It's going to show up sooner or later. Make sense? Now, next. My man Noe and you guys who are calling, if you're getting very few people on the phone, the problem may be you don't have a good data. So my next recommendation is make sure you're using a good data source. So the numbers you dial are relatively good. Now, nobody is perfect out there. Even the most expensive, most fanciest systems are not perfect. You're not going to get 100%. But make sure you're working on good data. If you're going to invest time and effort and energy and some money, then might as well call the right people. So my recommendation would be check out Espresso Agent. Espresso Agent, we have a deal with them. If you use the code BORINO, in the sign up. You can try them for $29 for the first 30 days. So give it a try, see what you think. The second one would be Vulcan 7. Vulcan 7 is good. It's a good data, just like Espresso. It's a little more expensive, but people like it. People get good results using it. But like with anything else, the results only come if you use it. It's just like with any other tool. You can't just try it once and see what happens. So make sure you have good data, okay? So the right expectations, the right mindset, the right schedule, and the right tool for it. Number 6 would be the right skill. Because when you do get somebody on the phone, you have less than 4 seconds before they either decide, we like this person, we trust them, we want to continue the conversation, or they say something like, we're not interested. Because, and this is important, friends, and this is why calling experts is important. Would you rather talk to 100 strangers, random 100 strangers, which is what you normally get when you circle prospect or door knock or even Facebook ads? Or would you rather talk to 100 people who at some point said, we want to move? Where do you think statistically you have better chance to get leads, to get listings, to make money? I would take the people who already tried something. Because just because the property didn't sell a month ago, last week, yesterday, doesn't mean there is no interest, doesn't mean their dreams go away. Doesn't mean their desire to live somewhere else just disappears. It just sometimes means they overpriced the property, hired the wrong agent. There's usually a reason. But very often, that wanting to live by the lake, to live on the golf course, to get that nice big house, to live in a better neighborhood, to get better school district for their kids, doesn't just disappear. So talk to people who are the best, most probable leads to convert. And that's new expireds, old expireds, for sale by owners, by far. Very often I see these posts here on Rockstars, on the Path, on YouTube. What are the best lead sources? Right there in front of you. I mean, you can have literally leads at your fingertips within minutes. Easy, easy peasy. There is no easier lead generation source than expired listings. Think about it. Somebody already said, I want to sell. What you need is the right mindset, the right schedule, the right tools, the right data source to be able to make it work. This is not just about picking up the phone and getting appointments left and right, although that'd be nice, but it's a little more complex than that. Doable. This dude from Czechoslovakia figured it out. But it takes a little more, all right? So make sure you have a good data source. That's number 1. That's number 6, right? Number 7, practice. Your communication needs to be dead on. You need to really nail it. Doesn't mean you're memorizing scripts, doesn't mean you're closing anybody, doesn't mean you're salesy. It means simply you know how to open well with a little pattern interrupt, you put a little smile in it, you enjoy a pleasant conversation rather than doing scripts and doing closing and doing manipulation, doing all that shenanigans. Here's why this is all relevant right now. Out of 100 expired listings, how many do you think will go back on the market? Like in my area, it was usually about half. The problem is at the beginning, they don't know whether they're going to go back on the market or not. So it's hard to predict which half. So you need to work all 100 to convert them. But it is a big percentage. What is it in your area? That's a simple research you can do very quickly on the MLS. Track a few and you will see that some list right away. Yes, some with their previous agent, which very often is a mistake if you ask me. Some with a new agent very quickly and some take their time. Which leads us to step, what are we on? 7? Are we on 7? 7, right? Have a good follow-up. Because the conversion will not happen during the first conversation. The first conversation is just like an opener. It's kind of like, I sometimes joke that real estate is kind of like dating, you know? 2 strangers meet and they kind of feel each other out and kind of get to know each other. And then they'll see where it's going to go. Bedroom, marriage, who knows? Same with real estate. So that first conversation, this is the first opener. It's the first ping. And the main reason you're calling in the first place is just to find out if they're relisted. Because if they haven't relisted, you have one thing they don't have. If they're not back on the market, if they haven't signed a contract, you have one thing that they don't have. And that's statistics. Because you know statistically, again, my numbers, about 50% chance they will go back on the market. They may not know it yet. They may still be caught up in their drama and their noise and their fears and all that stuff going on in their head. And that's normal. That's just human behavior. But I know statistically, there is about 50% chance I'm talking to somebody who maybe within a few days, maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months will say, let's do this. So no, very often at the beginning, just means not right now. And equipped with patience and some skill, I can convert those folks. I will be friendly, I will be polite, I will be patient, but I will also be persistent. Because I'm not going to take the first no, because I know that no very often means not right now. Which brings us to strategy number 8. What are we? I lost track. Somebody can keep track for me, please. I'm sorry, I'm kind of off my notes now. Here's the next one. Have a good follow-up. Have a good follow-up in place. Doesn't need to be perfect, doesn't need to be elaborate, doesn't need to be fancy, but it must be persistent. Because what I discovered is majority, almost every single listing I ever got, whether it was expired or otherwise, came from my follow-up. Not from the initial conversation, not the first time around where they say, you have a fantastic accent, we love it, come on down. It didn't happen that way. It happened through follow-up because it takes some time, just like in dating, to develop that relationship, to build the connection, to get to know the person a little better, for them to trust you so they can take it to the next step, take it to the next step, all the way to listing, getting it sold, getting it closed, and hopefully get referrals as a result. Make sense? So have a good follow-up. Get a system like Lion Desk, get Realty Juggler, a million others out there. Set up a little sequence, which brings us to next point. Once you have the follow-up in place, understand that your success does not depend on a single channel. Phone, important, but it's only part of your toolbox. That's why I have that logo of the toolbox, where you have all the other tools. Because just like you saw, only 1 out of 10 will answer the phone. What about the other 9? The other 9, there is still statistically a chance that 4 or 5 or whatever number will go back, will relist again. How do we reach those? Don't rely just on the phone. Phone is a good start. Talk to people you can talk to. It's a good way to ask questions, build connection, and with some skill you can do that. But then we go to step 2. Those I didn't reach, I text if I can. Short, little, simple, quick text. Those I couldn't text, or I texted and didn't get a response back, fire a quick email. Open all these channels. The more the better. Because you can't tell up front, it's impossible to say, these people will respond to this, these people will respond to that. You don't know. So use them all. Email, call, text, send a video, send a package, expired package, and if possible, knock on the door, drop off the package, and have a face-to-face conversation. That by far is the most powerful, easiest, and usually fastest method to start building a relationship with them and then convert them, is face-to-face. Do the best you can under the conditions and circumstances. It looks like things are getting better. It looks like we're getting back on track. So now it's just a matter of time before the business goes back. And guess what? All those people on the fence will go back on the market, because right now, notice how tight the inventory is. And a good listing is worth its weight in gold. So you got to step up and you got to do this right. Okay? So good follow-up essential. Now, it's good to have a system in place. That's why I developed the Expired Plus. You can go, do I have a book here? Not yet. It's called Expired Plus. You go to expiredplus.com, you can check it out. That's my man note. That's what he's using. That's what you can use. It's the book, a set of marketing tools, and all of that comes with it. But the magic of it happens in your implementation, where you take action. Even if it's not perfect, like this was not perfect, what he's doing is not perfect, but he's on the right track. But it's a process. Just like me at the gym is a process. Just like you learning how to swim, ride a bike, play a piano, all of these things is a process that you're building. You're building your skills, you're building your systems while you're moving forward. People get stuck on, well, I'm going to do it once it's all perfect. Once I have all the letters in place and all the postcards and all the scripts and I know it all perfectly, I have all the videos. You're going to wait your way out of real estate. And I'm not trying to fearmonger, that's the reality, because there'll be other agents less skilled, not as good as you, who will take listings from you, not because they're better, not because they're better looking, but because they're taking imperfect action. And they're willing to screw it up, and they're willing to suck at it, and they're willing to put up with days where nobody answers or people yell at them or they hang up. They're just more persistent. Because at the end, guys, it's this resiliency, this tenacity, this commitment that got me through the tough times. And trust me, 1989 was not exactly the best time to be in real estate. We had no virus going on, but we also had 15% interest rates, 40% foreclosure rates, property market values sliding down like going down on an ice hill. It was not easy, but it was doable. And it was my tenacity, it was the tenacity of agents, passion, persistence that got them through those tough times, including me. And that's what you got to do now. Equip yourself with this drive where you just hunker down and you just go, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give it my best. Is that helpful, my friends? I'm here to answer your questions. Whatever you have, just post it. I'll be happy to chat with you. All right. Hey, I know he's here. Good to have you here. Let's see. He says, what do you think of RedX? That's the program I'm using now. Should I change Espresso or Vulkan? Nui, I would recommend try it. We have that deal with Espresso. We're affiliated with Espresso. Use the code BORINO. Give it a try for 30 days. What's the worst that can happen? 29 bucks, no brainer. Now, Vulkan is good. Espresso is good. Some say that the data is very similar. Vulkan is pretty pricey, but give it a try. The best method I recommend is test. Because two agents can use the same system and get very different data. A lot of the data depends on the geographical location, socioeconomic group you're targeting, all these factors that can influence how good the quality of the numbers is. So give it a try. See what you think. Yeah? All right. Good, 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 good. What else do we have here? Okay. Louis says, yes, thank you. Very helpful. Excellent. Keep doing, my man. Keep going. It's very easy to get discouraged. It's very easy to have that passion and optimism. You go and you pick up the phone or knock on somebody's door and they reject you. And it's very easy for fucking real estate agents, real estate coaches to tell you, oh, don't take it personally. It hurts. It sucks. It's unpleasant. Rejection is not pleasant. But you know what's worse? Being broke. You know what's worse? Not getting deals where other agents are getting deals. And I promise you one thing from experience. If you just keep doing it, the rejection will never be fun. They'll never be like, hey, I'm going to get rejected 7 times today. It's going to be a great day, honey. You watch me. No. But one thing will happen. You will be able to shake it off very quickly. You'll be able to bounce back very quickly. You will develop the tenacity I developed. When I first started with my man George, I am not kidding you guys. I tried to wash my hair. I couldn't lift my arms. Not only was I out of shape, but because it was the beginning of the workout, it was painful as a mother. It was hard. And I struggled and I suffered. And there were times I was ready to quit. You're going to go through the same thing. But ask yourself this, what's the alternative? What are you going to do? If you can't convert expireds, which are readily available, people who already want to sell, people who already indicated, took the steps that they want to move, if you can't convert those, what else are you going to do? Are you really willing to sacrifice your future, your business, your freedom, just because of some discomfort? There's always discomfort. I tell you, having a 9-to-5 job, been there, done that, no thank you. Being broke, been there, done that, no thank you. There'll be always some kind of discomfort. I had one of my students, Luke and Krista, couple, great people. They took the boot camp and they listed like 12 expireds in 1 month. Blew me away. That was in January in Michigan, where it's like minus 180 degrees. You know what I mean? They crushed it. And when I interviewed them, there's a video on YouTube. You can watch it or I'll post a link. It's really good, where they show their tenacity and their passion. They're lovely people with great energy and very successful. They're doing really well. And I asked Luke, I said, dude, how do you do that? I mean, there must have been a boatload of rejection and boatload of difficulty you must have overcome to get these kind of results. He says, yes, absolutely. But you know what? I learned in the military one phrase that serves me well, and that is embrace the suck. Because being rejected sucks. Not getting listings sucks. Working your ass off at times sucks. There is stress, there is tension, there is long hours, and there is days where not much is happening, and then there are deals falling apart and listings lost and all that stuff you have to deal with. It sucks. But being broke, being mediocre, not doing the best you can, giving up, quitting, sucks way more. So embrace your suck. And I promise you one thing, once you conquer this, once you kind of get the hang of it, once you're like, it's no fucking big deal, I can get through it. I can get some good results, help some people, connect with some people, because there are people out there who want your help, who need you. It just becomes a routine. It's just like working out today still sucks, it's still challenging, but I can wash my hair, I don't suffer as much anymore. It is all part of a habit that you can develop. But you have to stay with it. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not an overnight success. There's no such thing. I tried. Doesn't work in weight loss, doesn't work in love, in relationship, and it sure as hell doesn't work in real estate. So stay with it. Be patient, be kind to yourself. Expect good things. This shouldn't take months and months and months, but also understand riding a bike, learning to swim, learning a piano, learning a language is all a process. And because a lot of what you do depends on your skill, your communication skill, your handling objection skill, your being high status agent skill. All these skills take time to develop, just like learning how to golf. First day on the golf course, I'd probably kill somebody or at least injure them severely with that damn little white thing. Because I never played golf, I have no skill. But hiring a pro and practicing and doing it over and over would probably get me a little better. Every day, a little better, a little better. Same thing here. So stay with it. You're on the right track. This is all fixable. All of these things we talked about, everything that you mentioned in the email and everything you guys struggle with, even outside of Expired, is fixable. And the reason it's fixable is because this business doesn't require talent. It requires skills and tools and mindset. Skills plus tools plus mindset. And then one more thing, taking action. You can't do this just sitting on your desk with your feet up thinking, I'm going to visualize $1 million. The money's flowing to me. I mean, sometimes money shows up and it can be effortless. I'm not saying it needs to be struggle every day, but be prepared that there'll be some effort you got to put in and some discomfort and you're going to embrace it. Yeah? All right. So, and also remember that you're going to need more than just the phone calls, that you're going to need the Expired package that's come with the Expired Plus, that you're going to need the emails, you're going to need the text. It's an entire set. It's a system that's required. Okay? All right. Gloria has a question, so let's pull it up. Gloria would like to know, what do you think of a list of agents who mark their listings temporary for 8+ months? I ran into that recently, which seems like a client is held hostage to me instead of canceling or marking it expired. Gloria, that's a good question. There are all kinds of shenanigans going on in the world, and this is one of them. Here's the question I'd like you to start asking yourself. And this will serve you well, not just when it comes to agents doing these kind of dirty shenanigans, and there are plenty others, people do all kinds of stuff. There are for sale by owners who are just disguised agents trying to drum up business in a very kind of shitty way. But here's what I want you to ask yourself. Can I do something about it? Can I do something about it? And in this case, yeah, probably you could report them maybe, or, there are certain things you could do. Question number 2 is, should I do something about it? Is this in the best interest of myself and people I serve? And there I would say probably not. Because if you devote your focus and energy and time into this, what you're really saying, I want more of that. I'm giving it my energy, my time, my focus. Please give me more of that, because you already know in our universe, the way these things are set up, what I give energy to, what I give focus to, I'm asking more for. That's why I always tell you guys, don't complain, don't bitch, don't focus on shit you don't want. Focus on what you want. Flip it around. What do you want? I want nice clients. I want plenty of good listings. I want a lot of money in the bank. I want income properties. I want travel. I want a peace of mind. I want to serve well my area, my community, my neighborhood. I want to be well respected. I want to earn my status as a rock star agent. And in that mindset, that has no space. In this mindset, all you're going to encounter is money, success, wealth, joy, good life. I would ask for that instead, personally. Irma says, I ran into something similar and kept it moving, not worth my energy. I agree. And Jose, that is a good phrase. Massive action. Massive action. Yes. Massive action will do a few things for you. Massive action will put your focus in the right direction. Massive action will develop your skills. Massive action leads to good results if you're in the right direction. That means you're working on your skills and you're talking to the right people or working with the right people. Massive action is essential to all this. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be struggled 24 hours a day. I'm not saying you need to suffer. You shouldn't bleed in real estate. But I'm saying, I used to rock climb. And we used to go to a place called Joshua Tree. And there is something about the climb that makes it few things at the same time. It makes it scary. Because there's a real chance you can get hurt or even die. It makes you question, why am I doing this? Because there are bruises, there are cuts, there is fatigue and soreness. And there's usually at least one time, a point where you go, I shouldn't be here. But what keeps you going is the sense of accomplishment. It's that drive. Because friends, I'm here to tell you, I was broke as they are. I was living in a car in Pico Rivera, California, parking my old Cadillac DeVille behind a liquor store, sleeping there, waking up in the morning, sore, tired, and scared. And today, I am grateful. We live in a beautiful house, in a beautiful community. I have a prosperous business helping, serving you guys. And I'm fortunate to have tens of thousands of you. There will always be a challenge. There will always be something that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. The question is not, will there be challenges and will there be uncomfortable? The question is, are you going to accept that challenge? Because if the climb was too easy, if it was just like, a few steps up, ta-da, what would be the payoff? How would that make me better? How would that make me stronger? How would that make me come up front of you guys and be able to inspire you, to tell you a thing or two about struggle and suffering, to share with you some inspiration where you finish this, watching this, and you go, I can do this. I got it. I got it. This is a path to my freedom, to my good life. Not an easy one. Like the climb, it can't be easy. There needs to be a challenge. There needs to be a push. There needs to be a moment where you go, ah! Because if nothing else, if it was too easy, everybody would be doing it, and you and I wouldn't be making the money we're making. So appreciate the challenge. Appreciate the opportunity to show the world, look what I'm made of. Look what I can accomplish. Look who I am. Look who I've become. I can do what most people can't do. And that's the truth, my friends. Most people, let alone most real estate agents, cannot do what you're set out to do. One of my favorite sayings is that African proverb that says ships are safe in the harbor. But that's not what ships were built to do. You can't just sit comfortably, safely in the harbor. You got to get out there. Blood, sweat, and tears, some rejection, some knockouts. Because the equation to success is your knockouts, the number of times you get knocked out, which will happen. It's unavoidable, inevitable part of life. That number needs to be one less than the number of times you get up. Diraj has a question for us. Let's pull it up. Hello, Borino. Is it a good time to make a cold calling on this pandemic crisis? Diraj, that's a really good question. What is your intention? Set the right intention. Because if you set the right intention, the answer is unequivocally, absolutely, 100% yes. You see, if you set the intention, there are people out there right now who are confused, scared, uncertain, who want to sell, need to sell, must sell, or will be selling, will be moving, will be buying, who want to live somewhere else or need to do something, who are looking for answers. If your intention is to connect with those people, to serve them, to give them answers, to give them guidance, to give them a sense of certainty, and then hopefully turn some of them into clients who will reimburse you and pay you for your service, then the answer is absolutely yes. Because here's what I discovered, guys. There'll be nice people and assholes when things go well. There'll be nice people and assholes when we have a crisis. There'll be nice people and assholes when we have viruses, when we have unrest, when we have looting, There will always be people who will appreciate you, who want to do business with you, and there will always be people who won't. And you can't buy into this, well, the world's circumstances need to be perfect in order for me to succeed. Doesn't work that way. Your success is not dependent on the world outside, because I know from experience, I've been around the block a few times, that things will be perfect on Thursday from 4:30 to 4:55. Then some shit will hit the fan all over again. That's just life. Just like this virus will go away and something else will come. Just like the fires will be put out and something else will come. So do not ever build your success, your business, and your life, your happiness, on conditions you do not control. It is a good time to call. It is a good time to communicate. It is a good time to prospect. It is a good time to be a real estate agent, especially now. If you're a competent real estate rock star who can take somebody and calm them down in this world of epidemic, in this world of fires, in this world of rage and anger, and you tell them, I'm here to help and I know how to do this. And if you reach out and give me your hand, I will walk you through it. Trust me, we'll get you to where you want to be. People will pay enormous amount of money for that. The problem is, your job is to find them, connect with them, build a relationship with them, build trust, and demonstrate you're their best choice, which is not something you can sell them on with a simple script. That's why I never teach scripts, because that cannot be done. Helpful? So Darash, that's what you got to do, my brother. Tony has a good question. Tony says, I want to door knock. Gloria likes my answer. I want to door knock, but I'm not sure what the reaction will be. Is this the right time or should I wait? Tony, same answer. If you have the right intention, and if it's safe, I mean, use common sense. The answer is absolutely yes. The answer is yes, especially if you're talking to high probability leads, high conversion leads, new expireds, old expireds, for sold by owners. Sure. Is it safe? That's the only answer you need to ask. Because the same thing I just said to Daraj is, there'll be people who will be happy to see you and people who will not open the door. They will peek behind the curtain. They will look at you and say, oh, stranger. But would that stop me? Of course not, because I know there is plenty. And I know there are people out there right now hoping, praying, and wishing somebody who is more than just a salesman can come and help them. So I would do it all. Now, just like what we discussed earlier, don't rely just on one method. Combine it. So if I had an expired listing, I would call first, then I would text, then I would send an email, then I would send a video. Then I would visit them with the package, then I would follow up. Make sense? So use all these channels. Deploy as many as possible, but I would definitely incorporate, if it is safe and protect your health and your prospects' health, of course, go visit them in person. Absolutely yes. I discovered that to be the easiest, fastest method to build relationship with people, to build trust with people, to get to know them, to get into conversation. And very often, don't be surprised if an expired listing says, you want to see the house? Can we talk? What do we do next? How can you help us? Because they sense, and this is the important word I used earlier, your intention. Which is first, can I help them? Who are these people? What are they trying to do? Is there something I can do to help? Maybe just give them a few answers. Because just like some people will move and want to move and are ready to move, some people will not. And they will use the current conditions going on in the world as that barrier that's holding them back. And if they have the time to wait it out, some people will, and that's okay. Because many of these leads are long-term leads. They will require 60 days, 90-day follow-up, 4 months, 5 months, sometimes even longer. And that's okay. Because as long as you keep stuffing that pipe, putting new leads in, you're prospecting, lead generation, some come to you from your Facebook, some will be referrals, some you will generate. You keep adding them to your database, they will start converting. Yeah? Gloria has a good suggestion. Yes, I like that. She says, wear a mask, keep 6 feet away. Yes. Although I gotta tell you, yes, you should wear a mask, absolutely stay 6 feet away. Do you guys find those masks to be absolutely ridiculous and horrible? And I have such a hard time communicating with others. And that's just neurobiology, the way we're wired. You notice that? Like when they have that barrier here, you can not understand them very well. You don't see their facial expression. All you see is their eyes. I'm like, fuck, this has to go away. I can't wait for this all to be blown, to be gone. I struggle with those masks. I struggle wearing them and I struggle communicating with them because I'm such a, part of what I do and big part of what I teach and big part of who I am is communication. I always like talking to people, engaging people, and this thing just, crazy. crazy. Enough venting, Burrino. All right. Is this all helpful, my friends? So now, if you want my help, go to goburrino.com, sign up for my coaching. It's called The Path. It's a really good program where you and I will work together. If you're interested in the Expired program, go to expiredplus.com. Check it out. You get the book. You get my help. I will personally help you set it up. I want you to succeed. I want you to do well. I want you to get listings. I want you to get sales, make money, earn commissions. That pleases me to no end. It's more than just the money for me. Your success, I thrive on. So make me proud. Get out there. Be successful. Good session today. Thank you very much for being here today. I really appreciate it. More good training, more good sessions coming your way. I'm Burrino, your coach, your trainer, your confidant, your guide, and you're my rock stars. Appreciate you very much, guys. Stay healthy, stay strong. Good things are coming your way, I promise. With that, as always, let's go. Get them. Thanks for being here. Bye.